We're here with Ben and Gerard from Procella Audio, and last time we saw you was at ISE in Barcelona. There you kindly invited us over to this fantastic facility here in the Netherlands. Can you tell us a bit more about the facility here that you've got?
Of course, yeah, you're more than welcome. So actually, talking about ISE, that's actually where this started from. We always have been showcasing at ISE from 2015 up to 2020, before COVID. Yeah, then we had to decide what to do with the whole setup over there, and then we decided actually to rebuild it as a fixed install for demos, for testing, for everything back in Harderwijk in the Netherlands. So that's where you are at the moment. And besides the demo room, it's sort of, we are also showcasing all our loudspeakers that we have. We're inside a media room right now, so it's our smallest setup that we have, also to showcase from little to actually a big system. So yeah, more than welcome.
Yeah, no, thanks. You've had a few dealers here for the last couple of days, and obviously the Home Cinema Alliance members as well. What was the main benefit of trying to get people over here? Is it to experience what Procella can do?
Indeed, that's spot on, actually. So, so telling our story, our heritage. We originated from DTS back in the day when we went from a DVD, still on DVD. So for those who still knows DVDs, we went from DTS to DTS HD, so high resolution. So way more dynamics. System back in the day, the speakers didn't hold up that dynamics. So Anders, one of our founders, actually designed a loudspeaker system for in the DTS demo room in the UK, and that actually is sort of the starting point of still the Procella P815 that we still have in our lineup, so to speak, which is actually showcased here in the demo room. So yeah. So that's the sort of the short background of where we come from.
And you've got an anniversary coming up next year as well, we believe?
Yeah, so this year is 19 years, so next year is very exciting. It's actually 20 years, which sort of then says, okay, so we started with one loudspeaker, so what will happen for the coming 20 years? Because I think a lot of people have been following us maybe, or you guys from Home Cinema Alliance, what's going on within Procella. I think last ISE, my colleague Ben explained that in your last video. Yeah, we're now sort of entering Procella 2.0. So we have not a new vision, but a broader vision towards the future, new products, improvements, etc., etc. So yeah, exciting next year. Yeah, indeed.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, Ben, tell us a bit about yourself and your role at Procella. I mean, obviously myself and Simon have known you for years. You've been around a while.
You make me sound so old.
Well, I think I worked out the other day. I think between us, we've been like over 40 years in this industry or something like that.
Yeah. About the same.
And I mean, you were 27. I'm 40. I'm 20. So I wish I was still 20. So yeah, tell us a bit about yourself and your role at Procella.
Well, firstly, if you can hear any strange noises in the background, there are live demos going on downstairs as well. And we actually had a very realistic sounding helicopter flying around earlier on, so hopefully you could pick that up on the surround sound, the helicopter outside the window. So me, I'm a European sales manager for Procella. So we've had guys here today from the UK, obviously, but also from Germany, from Sweden, from Norway, from Holland as well, funnily enough. And we've had previous guys here from Croatia and all over Europe. So the facility is open for anybody to use and to bring their customers to as well. So end users can come here for demos with Gerard. And it's a fantastic facility to be able to do that. Personally, I've been in the industry since I hate to say it, the late 90s, mid to late 90s, worked in retail. I've worked for distributors and I've worked for manufacturers. And I've really focused on home cinema in the last 10 years, working with companies such as obviously Procella Audio, Trinov, Storm Audio, Anthem, I've been around for a while, let's put it that way. And that experience really led me towards Procella when I first took on Procella as a brand as the distributor in the UK. During COVID again, contacted Procella and saw an opportunity there to join them full time. So starting with looking after the UK and now looking after the whole of Europe. So it's great time and new horizons for us as well with Procella 2.0 and a great future. Some really cool new products coming soon as well.
So obviously there may be people watching this video who are HCA members, CDA members, integrators in the UK, if not globally. They potentially aware of Procella, and they know the brand, and obviously it's a brand that, you know, myself and Simon have known and used for a few years. For the end consumer, might not be aware of the brand. So Procella is very much an inside CI brand. It's available via an integrator. So what's the benefits of using Procella to the end user? So if you said, obviously, a client could come here with like myself or Simon or a HCA member and experience it. Obviously, it's very much a media room, a cinema room brand. So what benefits does Procella give the end user? Why should they look at Procella over maybe a brand they may well know?
Yeah, well, as Gerard mentioned, we come from a background of DTS in the very early days, and moving from standard soundtracks to high-resolution soundtracks, which is everything that anybody uses now. Dolby Atmos is a high-res soundtrack. So to do that properly, you need the right type of speakers, and technically the right speakers. Nothing existed in the industry 20 years ago when that was first being thought of. So the two founders actually created their own speakers, made their own speakers on weekends, actually, at DTS, and created a whole new range of speakers that became Procella. We kind of use pro-grade components, so we come from a professional or commercial cinema background. So we have a whole range of speakers that work in very large commercial cinemas as well. So we use commercial grade components to work very well in a residential environment. So some companies you see out there have commercial grade components as well, but they tend to be big and, you know, big lumps that really are used in commercial cinemas and don't look so great in your living room. We have the commercial components, but we make them so they look really nice. So we have in-wall versions, on-wall versions, small subwoofers, large subwoofers, and we're really working with integrators like you guys and other companies from the HCA. We work together to make sure that's fully integrated into anybody's living space, whether it's a media room, a games room, or a fully dedicated home cinema, so that it's completely integrated. You don't have to see any product at all, but you can still get the absolute greatest performance possible, whatever size of room. As we were discussing earlier on, that we're in a very small, a relatively small media room setting at the moment, so a couple of meters from the screen, but we can do a cinema where your room may be 30 meters long, and we can still give you the same level of quality and performance that you'd expect to have in a small room as well. Your budget may have to go up slightly because you need much bigger speakers to be able to do that, and a lot more of them, but it's entirely possible, and the performance level that you should get will be consistent with Procella's performance level across the board.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the bits we touched on yesterday and today as well was the scalability. Was the like small, medium, large. Was that actually using speaker A or speaker B or speaker C is based on the room. There's continuity between the sound. It's just the overall power that it's going to give, and you don't necessarily look at a smaller speaker like the ones that are behind you here, which here we're using as a surround channel. You don't necessarily look at them and think, oh, that's a small speaker that's not going to perform. But it sort of like going up to a bigger speaker, going sideways to a different speaker, they all sort of like harmonise with each other. So you don't need to have a big speaker on the wall to get great sound from it.
Oh, that's actually, you're tapping in actually correctly, and you were paying very good attention, so... Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get a gold star.
Yeah, that's kudos for you, yeah. No, but actually that's what we do, and actually that's what we have been doing in marketing-wise as well. If you look at the current website, it is this small, medium, large, as we call it in simple terms, but we have a nicer saying for it, like, and that's actually just what we do. All the speakers indeed sound exactly the same, no matter the size. For the subwoofers, we need to move air. That's the thing. The bigger the room, the more air we need to move. The further away you are, we have to reach you. So it's very simple. That's the same as here talking to the microphone. This microphone helps me now talking to you. But if we move away the microphones and you go down the stairs, I have to talk louder in order to perceive the same thing. That's very simple, very basic. Back in the day, we had THX. Look it up, very interesting. It's still used as the industry standard throughout studios, throughout cinemas, etc. We, as a brand, still use that as basic because it's it's not a simple just a name or something that popped up like it's a nice to have. Now there's actually a lot of research behind that. I won't go into details, and we still use that. So they say 85 dB from seating position, 20 dB up, 20 dB down as a dynamic range. That's simply what we do. So our smaller speaker will pick up from 2 to 3 meters depending on your wall, up to a 16, 17 meter from the screen up to your main listening position. So that's not a 13 meter room, that's more like a 20 meter room. So that's for residential. Yeah? If you want to go bigger or even more than that, simply we switch this to our cinema loudspeakers. So yeah, so we have a very good solution for everything. The surrounds, you need more of them so you can combine them. So that's the basic concept. We don't have good, better, best. You always get the best, yeah? And we sort of try to balance sort of the pricing that we're not like over the top.
Yeah, depending on the size of the room would depend on what speaker you're going to put in. So it is very scalable.
Yeah, you need 3 surrounds, so you have to pay a bit more, but that's what you get.
Thinking of building your dream home cinema? Don't know where to start? Start with the HCA. At the Home Cinema Alliance, we connect homeowners with the very best in the business. Our members are trusted designers, installers and technology experts who know how to turn any room into a breathtaking cinematic experience. Whether you're building from scratch or converting a spare room, our members are here to help you every step of the way. Visit our website to find your local member at homecinemalliance.co.uk.
Gerard, you mentioned it's Procella 2.0. You've got a new website, but anything new coming along the line this year?
Yeah, I think actually if we look back now, and I think 1st of August last year, we started the transformation. By the way, everything who was part of, call it Procella 1.0, is still there. So all the former 2 owners, everybody, sales, of course, both Ben and me, but we all are in different positions. I'm now product manager, so for the brand. So worked a lot with Anders, one of the co-founders, actually also the guy who designed all the loudspeakers throughout the years. But indeed, yes, you will see. We did. Oh, I think you saw that. You saw it as well. The P5 OCW, so an on-wall version of our in-wall version, especially made as a high channel, which can be then towed in 45 degrees as a high channel. So it looks visually, it looks very good on the ceiling, but both technically, it's in a perfect alignment with what we want to achieve according to all those CDO rules and all those things. And
it's a fantastic product. We saw it obviously at ISE.
Yeah,
so
thank you for
we
that.
did a video on that, so click on the link below.
Yeah, that was actually my first. So it was a bit exciting for me. How it would have been received. So and besides that, I think we already sort of highlighted a small thing out in the industry very soon because of the room modes in a room up to 30 meters has been a thing always. So playing around with positions of subwoofers, Trinov having waveforming, Storm Audio integrating now a direct bass management, which will be further implemented by many more brands. So you see this movement now. I think it's not a trend. It's just a different way with DSP processing power, how we can sort of tackle the issue of room modes in smaller rooms. So, and we are of course jumping in there. So we will have a complete lineup, single subs, starting what we have right now is 15, 18-inch single subs. With the current look and feel that we already had for many years, that will just simply change with a visual look. So we will be adding very soon how it will look and how it will feel will be shown at CEDIA. But that we will have a single 21 and a single 24.
Fantastic. And is that with waveforming in mind, or just
with
space
waveforming or for
get a
the
better
bass
result?
control? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, but it's for many more purposes. I think back in the day it was all up to 18 inches what was available, and then you had sort of maybe a brand that was sort of experimenting with bigger drivers. But right now, our supplier has it just in his range because it's possible for them to make them also in a more affordable sort of way. With high performance, and that's what we're looking for. So yeah, but we still keep in mind easy installing, flexible installing. Packaging will be something different, of course. The whole branding is different. Look and feel of those subs will be different than we had before. Minor improvements that don't look like much, but actually will be very interesting if you look closely, or if you ever have installed them. So yeah, and of course, it's again, CEDIA will be a sort of point where we sort of lift the, I don't know, the sort of the blanket.
The curtain. Lift
Yeah,
the curtain up to the,
sort of more of a
the
glimpse
grand
of
reveal.
what will be happening besides the subwoofers.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'm going to be at CEDIA. If you're watching, my beloved wife, I might be going to Denver in September. So hopefully...
Please do so, Wayne.
So hopefully we'll get to see that. Obviously, briefly touched on the facility you've got here. So in the big room, what are we running there? It's 15 seats, 3 rows of 15 seats, isn't it? Scope screen. What channel count are we running in there?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Although normally you don't change, I'm a guy that's never happy. There's always improvements out there. Yeah. So we started as a 15-310. So that meant we have 10 high channels. So left, center, right, which are the P815s. We started with a V21, single sub at the front, and 2 P15s, so dual P15s at the back. Then all of a sudden, sort of waveforming was announced. So we are in close contact with a lot of industries. In this case, attacking those room modes. Trinov, I think, was one of the first. So they say that, would you guys be interested in sort of rebuilding the room? So looked at my dad. We made a plan, a lot of drawings back and forth. So we took out the whole baffle wall, and then we sort of totally rebuilt it. Also the rear wall, of course, because it was waveforming. So it's now a 15-12-10 in here, based upon P15 SIs. We have like listeners and watchers, of course, asking why not bigger ones. Now, the problem is if I show you the drawings and all the work, and I think I showed you guys, it's simply impossible to fit them in. Because besides this, although we have the height, I also wanted our C102s above screen channels in this room. You heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't tell anyone when I switched them, and nobody noticed it. So
I think that was good. I mean, I've got a picture which I'll put up now, which Ben sent me of the front baffle wall, and it's impressive.
is that the one with my dad on there as well?
Yeah, which really sort of
human for scale.
I say, it definitely gives the scale. So actually, that was touching on the above screen technology. That was really interesting because obviously we touch on it in the training, the 2 days we've been here, is the growth of the modular LED screens.
Yes, definitely.
We've been out to ISE and that, and we've seen Samsung's wall, we've seen Sony's wall. There's many manufacturers from Japan and countries like that who are producing the LED screen walls. Just tell us a bit about putting the speakers above the wall, above the wall if it's Samsung, but above the screen, and how that can combat the need to put the speakers behind the screen like we would normally do when we do a cinema with an acoustically transparent screen.
Yeah, we have to give a lot of credits to Anders and another guy called Jaska Sarina back in the day, because this already started many years back. Before even Procella started. So there was this cinema chain called Finkino that wanted the best picture quality and best sound quality. Very obviously, everything you put in front of a loudspeaker, like me putting my hand in front of the microphone, it just sounds not that good. You have a problem, and you have other problems as well if the speaker is behind the screen. No matter what. If there's the same speaker not behind the screen, or it's different in sound quality. Picture quality, it's the same. If it's a perforated screen, no matter how good it is, it's still perforated, or in our industry, woven, but it is still woven. It's not the perfect surface. So they looked for something else, and then we have to sort of cut the story short. They did a lot of tests, real life testing with 200 people audiences, built systems, etc., and it was helping at the time. So they found out that everything on one horizontal plane, full range, above a screen, because of how our perception, our brain works, picking up sounds, etc., really helps putting the sound, attaching it to the picture. I explained to you, but it's a long story actually to tell, so not enough time here. But that's actually what we have, and we have them actually in different sizes, depending on the room. So actually, if you want to do we're sitting here, cozy, 2-seat room with above screen. We even have here
we've got
the
3
P5
above here.
ICWs as a small solution. But actually, for bigger rooms, for the big LEDs, we have all the solutions for that. So we can do 2-seat up to 1,200 seats.
I mean, this room I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, we've got a massive void behind us.
Yep.
We've got a massive void behind you two in the meeting room, and there's a big window behind the cameras there.
All on purpose, yeah.
But it, for what is a typical, well, it's not even a typical lounge because you generally wouldn't have this.
Nope.
But for what is a typical lounge, I mean, this system really does
really
kick
yeah.
out. Listening to like Mad Max we just watched and a few bits and pieces like that.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
So a real testament, because obviously it's not easy creating a room like that downstairs, but when you've got one door in, one door out, it's not as hard as when you're dealing with lots of lifestyle elements, which you definitely are up here.
Well, this could easily be a games room. That's how I view it. So it could be at one end of the room, you've got a big video wall showing sports or movies, whatever it might be. At the other end of the room, you've got a pool table, a snooker table, a dartboard, a swimming pool. I mean, it could be anything with the kind of projects that we all get involved in. It really could be any multiple usage room at all. It doesn't have to be a dedicated cinema. So this kind of room shows you what's possible with, from our perspective, a relatively entry-level Procella audio system, but in a very, very big space, a very big volume that could easily be a customer's home. Could be their basement, could be their extension, the shed in the garden. It could really be anything at all. So it shows you the flexibility of what we can do with the systems that we have, going above screen, the kind of subwoofers that we have, that you can really fill a very, very large space with absolutely awesome sound at a very reasonable price that will fit in really well with anybody's lifestyle.
So we touched on Cedia, Denver. You're planning on an ISE Barcelona 2026 next year? Anything to look forward to? Are we going bigger than the interview that we did this year?
Oh, yeah,
I don't
definitely.
know what year
we'll
it
be
is.
there, so that's something to look forward
Yeah.
to.
Well, yeah, and we'll be there, so it'll be ISE interview version 2.0, like Procella 2.0.
Yep, indeed. No, definitely. No. I know doing a very close room as we have here, as I've been doing for 5 years, I think that's not really, if you look at the amount of money that it will cost, all the time it will absorb, and at the end, it's very difficult to get that room in a perfect position where you want it to have. It's not ever getting close. This one, for me, the last show that we did, 2020, we got very close, yeah? But still, to get it better, you don't have the time and the money to actually execute that. So, but indeed, we will be showcasing. So we will have a sort of a live demo, I think also on Cedia. And what we are trying at Cedia, we will sort of copy into ISE, or at least for ISE, I already have the plan in mind, what we'll be doing. That will be sort of a wink to the big room, and sort of to this room. Think about something like LED, above screen, showing elements, how to build a room with us. Yeah, most rooms are, like, in my perception, a bit overdamped. I heard that as well these past 2 days. That, yeah, I have my room, but it is a bit overdamped. This room is way more alive when you walk in. Those elements, they're part of us. We can make the best, let's say, or a good sounding loudspeaker with best whatever electronics. But at the end, it starts with the room, with the acoustics, and you can do all the wizardry with all the microphones. It can't fix a bad room. It starts with building a good room, and that's what we try to educate here as well. We are purposely built using a THX baffle wall. If you had explained to you, if you do that wrongly, it will work against you. So the whole performance of our speakers, the whole system, will degrade. Yeah, instead of being the system that we want it to be.
I think you're right. I think there's many rooms that I've been into, which have been they've been over dampened, and it's almost, it's not quite walking into an anechoic chamber, but you sort of, this is a bit weird, and then you walk into rooms where they've just done nothing, and you're not dealing with first reflections, you're just not dealing with anything in the room. You've got quite an interesting material on the wall downstairs. It sounds almost disrespectful to say it's cardboard, but it is.
There's different options that they offer. There is a cardboard option, which we have. It's a cardboard type material.
It's very
dense.
Not
really. It's very, very dense. It's very, very solid as well. They actually do the same thing in wood.
Oh, okay.
But most of the time, in most of the rooms that we do, that would be behind stretch fabric, so you wouldn't see that anyway. But it's very, very clever diffusion material. We have it on view so that you can see our speakers, because we use this for training as much as anything else. But in your customer system, you wouldn't necessarily see that. I love it because it's designed by a Swedish company called Audio Data Labs.
SMT, but the products are from SMT.
The products themselves are SMT, but the concept behind it, I love the idea. That the idea is that if you're in northern Sweden and you're standing in the middle of a forest covered in snow in northern Sweden, it's that idea of that damped sound. So everything is a little bit damped. There's no reverberation around you, but you can still hear a pin drop or a branch crack or something like that. You can still hear it throughout the whole space.
Yeah, and
so it's that lovely idea of that Swedish forest, and with the acoustics that are associated with that.
Indeed. No, indeed. No, but I'm just saying, if you do a gunshot in a forest like that, you hear it, and it fades out. So it's not reflecting like in a church. It just fades out, and that is what these diffusers typically do. They just they enhance sort of the size of the room. It sounds bigger than it actually is.
Well, I think we were. One thing that stood out to me yesterday, we were listening to is Eric Clapton, wasn't it, Layla? And there was the drum, and he was just doing, I don't know the technical name for it.
Brushing.
He was brushing across and you could just almost hear how many, the great Colin Chapman always said that, the thing with driving a Lotus was you knew how many legs the spider had when you were running over. This was like, you almost could tell how many bristles were on the brush because it was just so precise. At something that was running, what was it? Probably that room running at the time about 107 dB.
Yeah, at a max.
So.
At a max, yeah.
Peak,
so, but it didn't sound intrusive, over the top. It just sounded right.
Well, that's what we do. The whole point of using the professional components that we mentioned earlier on is that we can run a system at the level that you want it to be played at. So the THX reference levels that Gerard mentioned, that George Lucas and Thomas and Holman worked on all those years ago, for cinema, for studios, and for us to actually listen to the systems, that's the level you should really be listening. From their point of view, you should be listening to movies and music at those levels. But to do that without it being fatiguing, without it sounding too harsh, it's actually very difficult. You need the right kind of components. So we work with professional grade components. We use very, very custom designed crossovers to achieve that at a very, very low distortion level. So it's not just about going loud. We talk about volume levels a lot, but anything can go loud and it can sound absolutely awful. Or you can play very loud and very, very clean, and you get exactly what you said, that you're listening to the number of bristles or the wings on this fly.
This fly that's buzzing around.
This fly that's buzzing around this microphone. Maybe it picks it up in surround sound. If you're listening to this with headphones on, that probably sounded a bit weird.
It's a bit like going back to the DTS disc where the fly's flying around the toad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and the tone comes out.
Indeed.
Exactly. It's great. But that's it. It's about reaching those volume levels and having that experience, that visceral experience that you get from cinema and from music, but with very, very low distortion levels. So it's very comfortable to listen to for long periods of time.
Yeah,
that's what's key.
That's actually quite true. So what he's tapping right in is something that is also, first question was, why we do this? And it is that experience. You cannot, everybody who was in here, we had professionals in here from the industry, from studios to everything, end users for a demo, and they all say, okay, how's the volume? I always ask, if it's a consumer, you can do a bit more. We're already at a very decent level, way above what we normally would do. But it is indeed what Ben just pointed out. It is that low distortion is one of the key elements that we do. And the thing is, we can measure everything on paper, and the typical things that we have to do, it will not show that distortion levels. It will not. It's very difficult to read that. So you have to experience that, and that's sort of a thing actually that's why we have this room. So
that's what I liked about the demonstrations that you did for us yesterday. They weren't necessarily overpowering or particularly loud. Obviously, certain scenes were like the quiet place kind of thing. But
the first run that I did, I just actually on purposely looked on my doing the day before on Sunday. I was actually running through them and like okay, max, okay, so about 1.6, 1.7 ish. So we all sort of have them, and you guys experienced also the difference. So it's sort of the same level-ish, but still very different from the type of movie. So and But I was not even pushing the system yet. Yeah?
No,
We still have a
we
lot
pushed
more.
it a bit more today with
Yeah,
June. But,
of course. So we have enough headroom.
Yeah, no.
More than actually that is sort of. But it is still very appealing, sort of. Speak.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable experience for everybody. I mean, some people like it loud, some people don't like it loud, but you can still hear a lot of clarity and a lot of detail, and obviously the dynamic range is there in case it's it's required. But
yeah, well, it's like going to a really good concert. You go and see your favourite band, and you're enjoying yourself. You're really into it. You don't really think anything of it. It's at the right volume level. You're having a great time. It's not until you walk out of that venue and it's quiet outside that you suddenly realise that how loud it was that you're actually listening to. If it's really, really good quality, it's no problem. You can even talk to the person next to you because it's a very clean sound. It's low distortion. You can still chat to the person next to you. It's not until you go out afterwards that you realise that, wow, that was incredibly high volumes.
Or you have to raise your voice quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly, because your ears are struggling a little bit for a little while. But we've run this system very, very hot a number of times, playing it at some crazy dB levels for testing as much as anything else. And it has absolutely no problem at all. We've got so much headroom. You can have a great time, really enjoy your system, whether it's watching the Lions on tour this summer, just to throw that in there, or the football tonight. Sorry, Man U / Tottenham, whoever loses, just to age this podcast. But also, if you're watching any film or any music concert, if you want to experience it properly, that's the way you do it. And you can play it at really, really good volume levels without overloading the room and without overloading your own hearing.
So this facility is obviously designed to bring distributors and end users. What's the best way for them to experience such a great facility?
They need to get in touch with their, hopefully, HCA member, dealer, of course. Let's throw that one out there. Who will contact me, and we can arrange that, no problem at all. If anybody's over it, we're not that far from Amsterdam here. So if customers are happy to travel over here, or if people are over here on holiday anyway, we can set something up, no problem at all. And the dealer can come over with them, or Gerard can host them here. And it's certainly open to be used and to be experienced, because it really is an experience. There's not many systems like this on the planet.
Have you got more open days coming along soon, or that the distributors can come to?
Yes, absolutely. For distributors and dealers, we'll be doing another one. We haven't quite worked out the date for that one yet. We'd love to do it midsummer because it's nice around here in the summer. But it's fitting it in with everybody's holidays. So we're looking at other dates. I'm sure we'll do another one in the fourth quarter of the year. But we're going to try and fit another one in before then.
We will definitely ramp up, and then I think we will communicate with all those dealers, etc. More dates out. So it's not just this one date it's focused on, as it was of this one, but we will plan ahead. Then we have multiple dates available, and then you can sort of squeeze in what suits you. So.
And just to make it clear, I tend to invite my own list of dealers, and that's people that are either already using Procella or have used Procella in the past, or I just know really well. If there are any other dealers that might not normally get an invite from me, absolutely more than welcome to come.
Yeah,
we're very happy.
From Europe.
Yeah, from all over Europe, absolutely. And we like to have a balance of people here. So this event, we've had a couple of very experienced Procella guys here, and some guys that are very new to Procella, and we love having that mix. The last one that we did back in January, we had exactly the same thing, and it's just nice that people can share that knowledge, people can discuss things, learn more about cinema, and learn more about Procella, but also Trinov, waveforming, barcode projection, screen research, screen, Kaleidoscape. We have all the top brands here, of course, because we have relationships with all these manufacturers. MadVR, exactly, for the video processing. But just, I was thinking about this earlier on, actually. One thing just to throw out there, we talk about Trinov, we talk about Storm Audio, we talk about these very, very high-end systems. We do a load of work with other brands as well, whether it's Anthem, Arcam, Marantz, Denon, whatever it might be. Just because we're Procella doesn't mean you have to have a 32-channel Trinov audio system for that to work properly. We work with all brands and at all levels and at all room sizes. So there's nothing to restrict people in that way. So if any other dealers are interested in coming out to the events, the partner events, get in touch with me. I'll put you on the list. Next time we have an available date, or the one after, I'll get in touch, and I'll be very, very happy to have as many people along as possible. And if it's oversubscribed, we'll just do some more.
And good steak.
And incredibly good steak.
Really good steak.
I'm not sure if I recommend the limoncello, That was perhaps a
Very nice
mistake.
nightcap limoncello
Yeah,
last night.
exactly.
I've never seen someone drink a limoncello before where the whole face went like nearly taut.
It was homemade
Yeah.
limoncello, and Procella kindly took us out for dinner last night. But
Yeah,
very
I'm
nice.
pretty sure my eyeballs rolled back in my head at one point, but it was very, very nice, very pleasant.
Did you
Yeah.
just have one? Because you had two. Because I left after the. I mean, I don't drink, but I left after the first one because like I was just tired, and then I'm like, it's been a while since I left them, so I was wondering if you had another one or not.
Oh yes.
Actually,
yeah.
talking about those dinners or whatsoever, so that's actually what one of the things that we will do as well. It's more than welcome, yeah. We do give you loads of information. You can ask literally anything. Well, we'll try to answer just everything as well as good as we can. But then also, it's more like if you do the visit here, right? It's a nice place, a little place here in the Netherlands, Harderwijk, which has a very nice town. You guys slept in the dead center of it on the marketplace.
It's lovely. It was only 3 minutes walk from the restaurant. It was
Yep.
beautiful.
Let's just make clear that we all slept in a hotel. We didn't pass.
Yeah,
out
we didn't.
after the
Yeah,
limoncello.
we didn't all
No,
come
no,
back
So-
here and sleep in the cinema.
No, you didn't sleep on the marketplace as well.
No.
No, exactly. No, but that's actually what we normally do. Yeah, if we invite people over, depending on time of day or whatsoever, yeah, we just take them out for dinner because besides this, there is so much more to talk about always. But for us as a brand, it's not we're selling the box. Okay, it's about selling the experience, but it's also getting in contact. Yeah, selling is personal. So building relationships, that's what we are trying to achieve. Long-term relationships with our dealers, installers, wherever you are in this case, we're talking to Europe mainly, I think, but wherever in the world. Yeah, that's just what we do. Build
Yeah.
a long-time relationship.
So obviously, to wrap things up, so new website, new brand identity, lots of information on the website that you guys communicated with us over the last days. Website address to put you on the spot?
Yes, it's www.procella.audio. So it's just simply, if you type it in procella.audio in any browser, you'll just pop up.
Excellent.
So it's very simple, isn't it? The brand name.
Yeah.
Just type the brand name.
Yeah, and as I say, I like 2.0. I like the new brand. It's very modern, very fresh, and I think it pairs well with the direction the brand is going in, and the sort of conversations that we've had, off camera about the brand. I think that it's an exciting future for the brand.
Yep, no, definitely. Keep an eye on the socials because you're ramping that up a little bit more as well.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, just follow us or subscribe.
Well, I'm sure we'll both be back at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So we're back for interview podcast version 2, as well as Procella
We'll be
2.0. So
Yeah.
Any dealers visit us at CEDIA or ISE on our stand, and we'll give you the lowdown. There'll be lots of new announcements, lots of new products. We'll tell you all about them. Just by the way, because people always get it wrong, the spelling of Procella is Procella. Procella Audio. The Storm.
awesome. Thank you very much for your time, guys. It's been a fantastic 2 days, and now time to pack up, have another quick demo, and jump on a plane back to the UK.
Yep.
Definitely. Thanks for your time, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very much for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Drinking a coffee and a stroopwafel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely get another one in before I go.
My 15th one.
Today.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah, thank you.